In New York City, where ambition never sleeps and every dream has a price tag, Ethan Walker stood at the top of it all. At just 38, he was one of America's youngest billionaires, the founder of DriveTech, a rideshare empire that had changed how the country moved. But beneath the headlines, the luxury cars, and the sky-high office overlooking Manhattan, Ethan was empty. He had friends who smiled for his money, partners who stayed for his influence, and a world that admired him, but never really knew him. He used to tell himself that success would fill the void. But each night, as he returned to his silent penthouse, the loneliness grew louder. One morning, while scrolling through his own rideshare app, he noticed something: thousands of drivers, working day and night, surviving paycheck to paycheck. He built this system, but he didn't understand their lives. That thought hit him harder than he expected. And that's when Ethan made a decision that would change everything. A week later, Ethan put on an old leather jacket, jeans, and a baseball cap. He bought a used Toyota Camry under a fake name, Ethan Gray, and signed up as a driver for his own company. No private jets, no assistants, just the open road and his passengers. His first day was humbling. He picked up a construction worker who fell asleep in the back seat from exhaustion, a nurse rushing to her night shift, a college kid who couldn't afford tuition but still tipped him with $1 and a smile. Ethan listened to their stories, and for the first time in years, he wasn't being sold to. He was just another person trying to make it through the day. Then came Maya Brooks, a passenger who would change his life. She was in her late 20s, a single mom balancing 2 jobs and raising a little boy named Noah. Maya worked as a waitress in the mornings and studied accounting at night. She was polite but quiet, until Ethan cracked a joke about New York traffic, and she laughed. Over the next few weeks, he picked her up often. She shared stories about her dreams, wanting to start a small accounting business someday, to give Noah a better life. Ethan found himself looking forward to those rides. But as their bond grew, so did his guilt. He wasn't just a driver, he was a billionaire pretending to be one. And he knew one day that truth would have to come out. One stormy night, Ethan got a ride request at nearly midnight. It was Maya. Her voice trembled when she got in. Her landlord had just increased the rent. She didn't know how she'd keep the apartment. Ethan wanted to help, but he couldn't, not without revealing who he really was. So he drove her home, quietly, his heart heavy. That night, he made a choice. The next morning, Maya received a call from a new small business grant program, funded by DriveTech. She didn't know it yet, but Ethan had created that fund overnight, in her name and hundreds like hers. A few days later, Maya invited Ethan, still pretending to be her driver friend, to celebrate. Her business idea had been selected for full funding. She hugged him and said, "You know, Ethan, you're not like other drivers. You actually care." And that broke him. He couldn't keep lying. He told her everything, who he was, what he had done, and why he pretended to be a driver. There was silence, then tears, not of anger, but disbelief. "You had all the money in the world," Maya said softly, "and yet you chose this?" "Because money gave me everything," Ethan replied, "except what I really needed, people who see me for me." Months passed. Maya's small business grew rapidly, helping other struggling single parents learn basic finance and budgeting. Ethan, meanwhile, stepped back from his company. Instead of running DriveTech from a skyscraper, he began working directly with his drivers, improving their pay, healthcare, and safety. He no longer hid his story. He shared it on national television, saying, "The greatest education I ever received wasn't in boardrooms. It was behind the wheel, listening to real Americans who fight every day just to live with dignity." Ethan's honesty made headlines, but what mattered most to him was the quiet satisfaction of knowing he had found his purpose.